All right. Hi, I'm Britt, and we have Connie here, and we are going to talk about the paleo lifestyle, which is just something great to help you with the nutrition portion of your cleanse. I personally have just started this paleo journey with all of you. So if you're new to it, so am I. If you don't even know what it is, we're going to explain it a little bit. Connie's going to share on her own personal testimonies and journey with paleo and just how it can support you along with healthy lifestyle and doing this cleanse and supplementation. So let's get right into it. I was brand new to this, and so as I pulled up a Google search to figure out what paleo is, it really is in alignment with how our ancestors used to eat. It's based on a hunter-gatherer lifestyle, and we're really going to make sure that we're eating whole foods and how we would find things in nature. And again, we're going to keep talking about how it's this lifestyle and how that makes it sustainable and how we can continue to eat like this even after the cleanse. But it's really supportive to the cleanse that we're doing right now because it is going to help lower inflammation. It's going to keep you shopping the perimeter of the grocery store and out of those center aisles with the processed foods. It's going to be whole ingredients that you know exactly what you're eating and where it's coming from. And so to me, as I just sum it up, it's eating those whole foods. It's eating the way that hundreds of years ago we would have ate. It's helping our gut overall just heal from inflammation. And by eating foods that our body really recognizes and knows what to do with. So things like fruits and vegetables and proteins, your meats, your beef and your chicken, and we're gonna even talk a little bit about how eggs can be a little controversial. But overall, like we want really clean, whole food sources. And Connie has a ton of experience with it with what's worked for her. She has some really great resources that she's going to share. But if you don't mind, Connie, just letting us know like when you started paleo and what it looks like for you and how you'll be able to make this all come together during the cleanse.
Sure. Like she said, my name is Connie. I've been with doTERRA from since 2017. My husband and I actually started the paleo lifestyle back in 2017. 6 months in, we were truly amazed at the results. He had lost 47 pounds. I had lost 25. Neither one of us intending to lose the weight. A lot of people think it's difficult sometimes to try to change your lifestyle, but really with the paleo, it's not. It really isn't. We never feel deprived. We eat the foods that we love. We just have learned to stay away from the processed foods, and eliminating sugars and the grains. The seven keys of the paleo lifestyle are to eat a relatively high amount of animal protein compared to that in the typical American diet. Eat fewer carbohydrates than most modern diets recommend, but eat lots of good carbohydrates from fruits and vegetables, not from grains or starchy foods or refined sugars. Eat a large amount of fiber from non-starchy fruits and vegetables, and eat a moderate amount of fat with more good monosaturated and unsaturated fats than bad. Nearly you should equal your omega 3s and omega 6s should pretty much be equal, and eat foods with high potassium content and eat a diet with a net um, alkaline load. And the last thing is to eat foods rich in plant um, phytochemicals, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Now that was from my book that I religiously look at from Lauren Cordain, and it is called The Paleo Diet. I highly recommend the book. Lauren Cordain also has a really nice recipe book as well. And I think Britt was starting to share, or maybe you did already. I'm not sure, but there will be a grocery list, and there will be a paleo menu included in the guide that you'll receive. And again, like I said, Dennis and I have been doing this for our 6 years. And we do not do it 100%. I will tell anyone that starts it, don't even try to do 100%. Even in Lauren Cordain's books, he offers 85-15. That's what he says. Because you'll fail. It's you're setting yourself up for failure if you try, because we still like those extra pizza and a glass of wine or whatever on an occasion. So I highly recommend that if you're looking into the paleo lifestyle, um, don't give up on it real quick. It's something you have to change habits, but it really, really works, and it's really, really good. We have no complaints at all.
I love it. And like every time that you talk about it, it just inspires me more to want to do it. And it just seems like it's a really tangible thing when you don't set yourself up for failure that has to be so rigid and so extreme. And I do think like during the cleanse, just reminding yourself that even if you are really good about staying on the recommendations and staying away from the things that we say to avoid, like gluten and dairy and all of that, knowing that the cleanse is temporary. And then as you keep this and to sustain this lifestyle, going back to that 85-15 or 80-20 rule is just really manageable.
One of the other things that I had talked about to Britt about before was too, I have converted old recipes. So I'll just use one example. My grandmother's banana bread recipe. It called for 1 3/4 cups of flour. So it's converted to, I use almond flour and coconut flour and tapioca flour. And I'll just kind of split the three of them up and use those. And then in place of the shortening or butter or whatever it called for, I use coconut oil. And in place of the sugar, I will substitute with honey. So, and you can find these conversions online as well. That's where I first found them. And I will tell you with the almond flour, I do find that I don't like to use the amounts that they suggest in a lot of the paleo recipes, because it does make for a more grainy texture. So,
Yeah, and I've read that even on like bags of almond flour, like it'll have like conversions right on there. The one from Aldi's does anyways, which I appreciate that. And I think it's like with anything, the more that you do it, the more it just becomes second nature to think like, oh, let me grab the honey instead of the sugar. Just like as we started incorporating oils into our life to like not go grab the Advil when we can take the Deep Blue or something like that. So I just also wanted to mention too, like standard American diet. We talked a little bit on that, but like literally is SAD, SAD, standard American diet. And I don't think there's any coincidence around the low level of nutrient density and the way that our food makes us feel when we're eating in that way versus when we're eating whole foods and sticking to this paleo lifestyle, we're going to be more likely to want to stick to what we're doing because we're feeling good. But then I know it's like such a ripple effect for me. When I'm feeling good, I'm going to do my workout, take an extra long walk, park further away at the grocery store, wherever I am. And it just is that ripple effect. And then even when I go maybe out to eat or something like that, and I just want to stay on that. Like I'm more likely to order something out, even that's in alignment with what I'm doing, versus when I'm like day after day eating the junk food. It's just easier to like stay in that track. So go into it with the intention of not really depriving yourself, but you're nourishing and nurturing yourself. And that's what I really, really like about paleo is it doesn't feel so much of deprivation as it is what can we focus on that's really good, which I think that's this cleanse in general. It's one of the most gentle cleanses that I am aware of. And when you go into it with that mindset, it's not a deprivation. And how can I just incorporate this into my everyday life? And part of it might be like planning ahead and having that grocery list that we provide for you to give you inspiration and do some food prep. And I know for me, when it comes to food prep, I am much more likely to stick to it if I prep ingredients ahead of time. Like I cook the chicken that I can add into like salads or whatever I'm making with it throughout the week versus like if I already have meals made, like I'm better off with prepping ingredients ahead of time. So I think like part of that too is like having that plan in place and sticking with it and cutting out time in maybe the beginning of your week to just make the rest of your week flow a lot more naturally. And when you are in a crunch or pinch for time, like you're going to go grab stuff that you already have prepped. So with that being said, even eating this clean way, our food and our soil is not as nutrient dense as it was when our ancestors were living in this hunter-gatherer lifestyle. So it's important that we still supplement with lifelong vitality that has bioavailable nutrients and minerals in it, because we're just not getting that with the food anymore. So that's where I think sometimes people can be like, well, why do I need to supplement if I'm eating this clean and this good? It's because the food isn't what it once was. And I know with me, and something that's really been working for me and a lot of other people too, is having some degree of fasting coming in with this. And I know, Connie, you eat breakfast and you stay really full for a long time with your protein breakfast. We've talked about that before. But I know taking supplements on an empty stomach can be tough for people. So if you are choosing to fast and you still are taking in your lifelong vitality, I just wanted to add this in because of the way that our supplements are formulated. They're really gentle on your gut, and you're not going to have that upset stomach with taking supplements on an empty stomach if you choose to do some fasting in the morning or whatever the case is. We're not really talking about fasting, but I did just want to add that in there if you're not somebody who wakes up and like eats breakfast and takes your supplements. So still going to have those nutrition gaps even with the clean eating, just because of the way that our food is in 2024. And with that too, drinking a ton of water, adding lemon into your water throughout the day is going to be supportive to your cleansing organs like liver and gallbladder. We just want to drink extra water in general, because as we cleanse, we want to make sure our body is as hydrated as possible to support it. And I've noticed myself, when I drink more water, I don't have those cravings for the junk food too. So you could also add in MetaPower, not to go off on too much of a tangent, but if you are somebody who's struggling with the sugar cravings, adding in MetaPower to offset that into your water is a good idea. I do just find though that the more healthy that I eat, it takes a minute to get there, but the more healthy I eat, the less of those cravings come in. And I think that's kind of like with anything. And I notice when I do eat really clean, when I have a day where I get fast food or junk food, it's not even as appealing as it used to be. And it upsets me more than it ever did, like when you're just eating that way. So it is great to see your gut health just change and like what you crave change too. So I think
One of the other important things with that too, when you, as you were just saying, is movement, because a lot of us are sedentary. We do sit behind a desk for many, many hours during the day, and we need to keep active in some way to keep our digestive system from becoming sluggish and making us feel heavy and overweighted and just really blah. So movement's really, really important with drinking the water just as well.
absolutely, it's only going to help improve our metabolism when we move, and finding things that you can just make happen throughout your day. Setting aside 20 minutes for mindful exercise is great, but then where else can you fit it into? Like, is it just taking an extra long walk, parking further away, doing different things that you can just fit into your everyday life? So with that being said, is there anything else that you think we should touch on in the paleo lifestyle?
I really don't. I'll add again, Dennis and I both, like when we first started it, it was a change. There was no, it was a lifestyle change, but it really wasn't as difficult as a lot of people think it is. It's just a mindset. And once you're into it, like you said too, Britt, a little while ago, it becomes more habit forming. You just do it in a daily routine. You learn how to convert those recipes. You know what what you're making for your meals or prepping ahead of time. And when you did bring up, Dennis and I do eat breakfast, and we do not eat. We eat around 8 or 9 in the morning, and we have a high protein breakfast. We do not eat again until dinner time. If anything in between, there might be what you want to call a smoothie, but pretty much it's just fruits and berries and water. So if that is something that we both want, that's what we'll do.
Yeah, I love it. I'm just excited to convert some recipes. I keep telling myself too, it's 30 days. Like I'm trying this for 30 days and you know, it's it's just something that if you have an off day or something like that, but really I think we have a ton of support within our community that's just going to help keep us all on track, and it's 30 days. So why not try it? Why not see what it does for you? I'm excited to just like lower levels of inflammation in my body, help get my body back after having a baby. But overall, like me, I want longevity. I want to make those conversions and have like the healthier versions of recipes and things that I already love to make it sustainable. And I love sharing these with my family and getting my husband turned on to like the healthier version of something, because usually like he's apprehensive. And then once he tries it, he's like, oh, okay, that's like our version now. So I'm excited to see that change too, because I know with food, there's just so much more to it than just eating. Like it's coming together, preparing a meal, and it's just going to be a good time for us to sort of reset, but create things that we can carry on long after the cleanse. So I think that's great. We'll share other resources with you, like links and stuff, so you actually have them, the books that Connie was mentioning. And if you guys find any other paleo resources you want to share with us, I think that would be great. All right, good luck with everything. Happy cleansing.
Bye, everyone.